Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine, and we're talking to Shelley Hartfield, the Vice President of Destinations for Victory Cruises. You've heard of Victory Cruises somewhere in the back of your minds. We're going to explain with a number of interviews here on the Victory One as we go and name it and inaugurate it in Canada. And we're going to tell you all about that on Insider Travel Report. Shelley, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, first question I have for you is, how long, I don't know this, have you been with American Queen before Victory?
I had. So I started with John Wagner when he started American Queen Steamboat Company. I was with him since 2010. So through the purchase of his first vessel and up until 2022, and then came back to revive the new Victory Cruise Lines.
And your position throughout, did it change? Where did you start?
I started as John's executive assistant and office manager, and then marketing manager, travel manager, director of product development, director of port operations, and now I'm on board as vice president of destinations.
So that's what we're going to talk about, is the fact that this ship is, while it's great, it's not the destination, it's the experiences that you offer that add to the whole thing. So let's begin with 2024. You catch wind. Oh, we're starting up again. How long did you have?
From July of 2024 until we started sailing on April 17th.
I was going to say, was it enough time? But it's never enough time.
Never enough time, but fortunately, we went around and met with every destination in person, and that makes all the difference. When you have face-to-face, you get to see everything. So a lot of time on the road, but definitely time well spent.
Well, some of this is tried and true because Victory was sailing the Great Lakes. And so my question then is, you brought a lot of that back. And what are some of the new things?
So we have quite a few new things. I look at it as these are experiences, not only excursions. So we have put together some amazing experiences. One of my favorites is a culinary experience. A local chef comes aboard, greets the guest, takes them on a journey through Green Bay and the area. They actually get to visit a chocolate shop that's over 125 years old. They visit a 100-year-old cheese shop. They visit a winery and trout farm, and they visit a hydroponic farm. And the chef will go with them, grab things along the way. When they end at the winery, she helps them create a charcuterie board from all of the things that they accumulated along the way. And then they do a wine tasting with their charcuterie board, and then they get a charcuterie board to take home. So experiences like that are what we really look for. So we have a lot of new experiences.
But now let's talk about the ones that are the tested ones.
Yes. So we have experiences that previous company had operated, such as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation, Mackinac Island Carriages, so Niagara Falls, of course. So those are some of the things that we brought back. Those are the tried and true. Those are the things that are iconic in those destinations. And then we really tried to find things that fit into what we call buckets that we believe that our demographic is specifically interested in.
And we're on a special cruise, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but is it always the same where there is an expedition or a tour that comes with, and then there are upgrades?
Correct. So we have included excursions in every destination. Then we have premium and immersive experiences in destinations as well. So a premium experience may be 20 to 50 guests. It revolves around a specific topic or interest. And then the immersives really do a deep dive. Those are hands-on, immersive experiences that usually are somewhere between 2 to 15 guests.
We're on a special cruise. We're repositioning the ship. So we're trying to get to the Great Lakes. So what you did here was really admirable, because you proved how easily I shouldn't say easily, how you were able to pivot when there was adversity. Could you tell us what happened on this particular trip?
Yes. So we received word very close to sailing time that the Canso Canal was still going to be closed for winter maintenance. It was taking longer than expected. And because of that, we had to pivot and come up with a new itinerary. And so that required us to cancel Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, which is near and dear to my heart. I absolutely love it. However, we had an unexpected surprise by going to Sydney, Nova Scotia, Cape Breton, and they rolled out the red carpet within 2 days. We had the port secure, we had the experiences, everything put together, and it was absolutely incredible how quickly they were able to help us as well. So, just calling the people and saying, we have this issue, can you help us? And everyone just pitched in to help.
So I don't have a video to show you of the new experiences that we haven't yet seen, but I can show you this Cape Breton thing. We were picked up by a limo. We went to a actual coal mine and got to experience a simulation of being a coal miner, and then actually went into the mine and had to almost crawl through. It was really, and we had an actual miner give us the tour. But that was just the beginning, because then we went to have lunch at the theater, the Savoy Theater. It's amazing that this coal mining town supported the arts in such a way. Can you tell us about that too?
Yes. Yes. So, you hit the nail on the head when you were talking about the coal mining experience, everything from the video that they show, meeting Eric, the coal miner, 81 years old, spent 35 years in the mine. Just incredible experience and truly authentic. You left there with our backs aching from bending, thinking, oh my gosh, this is what it would have been like. I can't imagine doing it for 8 hours or 12 hours.
And an entire career.
Yes. And so that was incredible. The Savoy Theater, both of those locations were actually closed. Neither opens until June. And because we were in contact with the right people, they were able to open early for us, specifically for our group, which was incredible. And then we get to the theater. We had the behind the scenes experience where they took us through the nooks and crannies tour of the theater. And then we had this amazing lunch on the stage of the Savoy Theater. And from what I was told, it's the first time since the inception of the theater that in 100 years anyone had ever dined on the stage of the theater. Incredible. And then the food, the seafood chowder, the beef tenderloin from Prince Edward Island, and then the seafood plate from all locally sourced scallops and shrimp and salmon, just amazing. And then the music, so we had two of Cape Breton's own Hall of Fame inductees, the Celtic fiddle player that is world known, and to hear them on the stage and that musical performance, it's most likely one of the best experiences that I have ever done.
And we're showing them that as we speak. What I wanted to ask you, so this was a repositioning trip, and people watching are going to go, I want to do that. But that's not in the Great Lakes. But how often does the ship get repositioned? What's the seasons? Yes,
so we do the repositioning voyage, if you will, right now. We do that at the beginning of the season, going into the lake, spend the lake in the season, and then toward the end of the season come out. Beautiful time for fall colors for the repositioning. Just extraordinary experiences. And while this may be repositioning, one of the things that I always like to tell my team is, remember, this may be someone's first cruise. It may be their last cruise. It may be the one memory, the one place that they've always wanted to see and haven't. So when we're looking at experiences, we don't think of these as a repositioning. We think of these as, this experience is just as important as the one we do 35 times. So let's get it right.
And what I'm saying is that I want the travel advisors to sell the Great Lakes, but a rarer ticket is this reposition. So if someone wants to do that coal mine and the dinner, I mean, you'll do something equivalent, I'm sure, because they really wanted to see you come back. And it was great to see you. So if something's happened in the Great Lakes, you have the wherewithal to do this kind of, and we said pivot again.
Yes, yes. So as Vice President of Destinations and overseeing the itinerary planning, itinerary development, and then the shore experience side of things, I have the perspective to be able to say, okay, we can dock here. What's the experience going to be? And then I keep some of those in the can. I say, okay, well, we could go here. I knew about Sydney, just had never been there. So, you pull those off the shelf and you say, I've always wanted to try this. Now's the time. And you just find the best experiences that you can to provide the guest with something unexpected. And sometimes that unexpected is the best experience.
So now, how should, from your point of view, I'm going to ask this of everybody I interview, how should travel advisors sell Victory Cruises?
So I think it's, to your point earlier, the ship is beautiful. The crew is absolutely amazing. You can't find a more caring crew. But I think the destinations, and really trying to find these unique experiences. Like any cruise line, I go into these locations and I say, okay, whatever you have on your top 10 things to do in this community, that's not what I want. Throw those out the window. I want something unique. I want something no one else is doing. And I think we found that on the Great Lakes. I think we have some amazing experiences that touch on 4 buckets that we've identified. And that's lighthouses, presidential history and museums, Frank Lloyd Wright, and national parks and national park sites. And so we're able to provide those along the Great Lakes. And I think that, that is, to me, the reason to come with Victory Cruise Lines. You're going to get an experience that you will not find anywhere else. Even if you were on your own, I drive down dirt roads to find these things sometimes, and they pay off every time.
I think we also need to remind the travel advisor that this is a type of cruise where if you don't want to go to Europe and cruise, you get European style cruising, but in America, which means that you don't have to change your money, don't have to learn a new language. You have American medical facilities. What else? There are other. You don't need a passport. You can use your driver's license. Anything else you can think of?
No, I think that you hit it on the head. I think, we like to say that as Americans, especially if we're well traveled, we've visited a lot of these locations. But when you visited, you probably saw those top 10 things to do, those things that you knew about. And so, I think bring your sense of adventure, your spirit of exploration, and come see what Victory Cruise Lines has.
All right. One final thing. How can travel advisors learn more? We got the URL.
Yes, so they can visit victorycruiselines.com. On there, you can go to destinations and you can find a shore experience booklet there. I suggest that you go check it out. Contact your representatives from Victory Cruise Lines, ask questions, and if they'd like, they can ask for me, and I'm happy to explain any of the experiences.
Thank you for sharing all this with us, and congratulations and good luck. I mean, this is the inauguration, but the first revenue cruise is coming right up. Yes,
and we're excited. We're excited to welcome everyone and hope that we create memorable experiences.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.